Hello, Serge here. We're in front of the clubhouse and just behind the putting green of Twin Creek Country Club in Allen, Texas, which is, I believe, a northern suburb of Dallas, Texas. And we have the 3Ds here, Dave, Don, and Doc. All right, and
dumb and dumbest.
You said that, not me. But we're over here. We had two really tough days to begin with. I mean, it was like I thought we were in Alaska. The wind's howling, and I mean, it was cold.
I peeled off about 5 layers today.
Oh yeah, well, we basically got back to short sleeves, and I just got another thing on lifted up, but it's good. And Doc still looks pretty covered up. I guess
Yeah.
I guess he's a wimp. But anyways, we had 3 days of schools. Doc had 3 days of fittings, and so let's start off, Doc. We'll wait for you, and we'll talk about that in the end. But let's start off with the golf school. We had roughly about 8, 16, 20 students here, and what's the count for alignment?
Still
the goose egg, huh? And I mean, we had some qualifiers for worst of the year too.
Yep, absolutely.
2 of them. And like I told everybody, whatever they are on the range, they're going to be a lot worse out there. And I caught one guy yesterday. He got lined up twice, about 150 yards right. He just walked in and wouldn't even look up and was ready to swing, and he was aimed over houses. And I had to pull him back twice. Another time he was aimed over the middle of the street. He just walked in, and the target's down here, and he just walked in like this. He's ready to swing. So I mean, you got to look up. You got to look at your toes now and then and check out where you're aimed. And so we always do a big discussion on alignment. I think the other big one that we do is your swish test when you use those little alignment sticks and stuff, and that works good, because one of the biggest things we see is people swing more at the ball. Even with the Surge swing, trying to swing up to the finish, they seem to swing at it rather than swinging through and up.
Right. Yeah. The thing we really worked on. We had a lot of guys that they get in pretty decent positions, but then then they get it back here, and all they're thinking is hitting the ball. And the great thing about doing the swing or the swish drill is to get them to feel, hey, this is swinging the golf club, and we got to swing it with our arms, and we got to forget about the ball on the ground
and get to the finish.
Yeah, get to the finish.
But again, one of the reasons why most of them got that hitting at the ball is because they're trying to hit the ball at the camera, and they're lined up over here, and they got to get their body out of the way, and they're coming over the top and that, and then they're falling backwards, and all they got is, as they're falling back, they got to hit the ball. So again, it's the setup determines the motion. Until you get your setup right, it's going to be very difficult. And that's where in the end we take them, we get them shining, we get them on a golf course, and we get behind them and stop. Where you aiming? I want them to tell me where they're going to aim first, and then I know where they're supposed to aim, and they're aiming over there, and they want it to go there, and we keep correcting that. And the better we get them lined up, the better they start swinging through. But the swish test does work, and you don't even need D-sticks. On a golf course, you can just flip your club over, grab it by the head, and swing the grip, and listen to the swish. And you want it to start swishing right at the ball, not back here or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Doc was here, and I think you had. How many students that came to the golf school managed to fit you in before or after the schools? Because you basically were pretty close to sun up to sunset.
Yeah, I think there was like 6 or 7 that did both.
On average, how many of those 7 who came to our school had correct clubs? Be honest.
Well, if we use 100% as correct, nobody. We had one person, in fact it was the last person, and he was in your school today, whose clubs work reasonably well. His lie angles were good, the frequency of his shaft was good, but his clubs were too long, so all he has to do is choke down.
Is that normally too long is one of the biggest issues?
One of the biggest issues, because club manufacturers keep trying to push the envelope in order to generate more club head speed by making the shafts longer, and it just doesn't work. The human machinery gets to a point where they cannot swing the longer shaft with the same swing speed, which would generate equal to or greater club head speed. We get to take the example of taking a 10-foot shaft. I could not swing that 10-foot shaft with the same swing speed, therefore my club head speed would drop as if you gave me a 35-inch sand wedge. It just doesn't work.
Okay, but again, the thing I always say is longer clubs can only hit the ball longer if you can swing it as fast, hit it as solid and as straight.
Yeah,
and
you're
again,
not gonna hit it in
there's
the center
been
of the
tons
club
of tests that prove that you can't. Once you get a certain length, it's very tough to sniff the center of the club face, the sweet spot, which you prefer to call the center of gravity.
Center of gravity.
I like that better because I don't think sweet spots can be expanded. What you can just do is move it around. There's only
got but one.
How big is it?
the size of the business end of a needle.
Okay, that's pretty small, isn't it?
That's very small.
But yet I've heard clubs advertise. One time I heard one say, we got 9 sweet spots.
9 of them, yep.
And then after that, next year they said, the whole face is a sweet spot. My motto is about bigger club heads, especially the driver. The bigger you make the head, the more room they're giving you to miss the sweet spot, and therefore I hit a worse shot.
Correct.
Correct? Okay, we'll be coming back to more on clubs, on clubs and things at another time, because you know Doc and me, we're big on club fitting, because clubs are tools. The better your tools, the better you do your job. And in many cases, the bad tools can actually stop bad alignment, which brings me back to one thing. One of the biggest things we noticed today, and this week, forever, more than anything, I've really seen more people with shut club faces.
Yep.
And if you're walking in with a shut club face, and now your face is already shut when you put the club to the ground, and you're looking out there and it's to the left, then what are you going to start doing when you get your face square? So I think, so does the shut club face force the right, or did the right force the club face shut because you're trying to pull it back to the left? Either way, they're both bad.
Here's the thing, though. It's a culmination of a couple things. You know, when we look at you for alignment, the key here is we got to get the shoulders, we got to get the elbows, we got to get the hips, the knees, and the feet all matching, and the eyes. And the thing is, when they start having that shut club face, it's because their feet are right at target, but their shoulders are open.
But they also have the face shut from the standpoint if they held it up in the air.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's shut to shut.
But they've got the crisscross, and when they got the crisscross, they have the club face shut, because that's the only way they can keep it online.
I think I'm going to add, I like what you just said, I think I'm going to add elbows. When I say toes, knees, hip, shoulders, and eyes, I think I'm going to add elbows, shoulders.
Yeah.
Because when your elbows like this, and you can see your elbows are this way and your toes are that way, you're in big trouble.
In the 3 days we had some guys that were pretty decent with their alignment with their feet, but then they were whacked out upper body, and
it's always right side high.
Once they start getting that ball position a little bit forward, all the weight's on the front foot. So, you know, the alignment is definitely, it starts from the toes, but that's not where it ends. It's got to go right up your body.
All the way, everything level, so everything starts in an equal spot, so it turns back and through correctly. And most of the people, again, and many of them, they had the basic good rudiments of the peak performance swing, coming back and through, but they lose it because of the alignment, and they got to get out of the way or throw the club around themselves and everything else, and that's where it all goes to haywire. So, you worried, Doc?
No, I'm just trying to get out of the way of the follow through.
Okay.
You almost got
you were okay because
I don't want to be
up
the
in
tree
front.
over here.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
In his mitt, not
so
my tree.
I think that's another thing, folks. Too many folks were trying to get their club alignment on the ground. You do your club alignment in the air, and the leading edge of the club is square to the ground, and then you go to the ground and you make sure you don't fidget with the club, or what we call re-grip, or all those other things, and dance too much with your feet. But the key is get the club down and check your toes. And the best place about learning about the alignment is get out and look at the Ultimate Alignment video. It is phenomenal. We had 3 of the guys here, but they somehow didn't get it right because they were still pretty bad in their alignment. But it starts with the Ultimate Alignment video, having the idea of how to walk in correctly. Club's too long, huh?
Club's too long.
That's because they're telling you longer hits it farther, but in most cases, we're not machines. You can't do it.
Nope.
And
We're
most
not
everybody is clubs today are too long. My clubs today right now are shorter than standard ladies clubs.
Yes, they are.
Right? And so that means means most ladies are definitely playing with too longer clubs.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Absolutely. So you ladies, we're talking to you. You need to get your clubs checked. Get to some of our certified instructors or whatever. All right. Well, from Twin Creeks in Dallas, Texas, where the sun finally came out today, and it's absolutely gorgeous, calm, almost no breeze. You got Doc, Don, and Dave. That's it for today, and we'll be talking with you all again soon.